Thank you for your interest in the Omnivore Video Capture Field Kit for Motion Systems. In this instructional video, I'll walk you through a quick plug, play, and capture process for using the Omnivore Field Kit to walk away with an uncompressed copy of any video when you come upon a black box type DVR out at a crime scene that has a Linux-based or other non-Windows-based operating system like the one you see here. Of course, we always recommend that whenever possible, that you also collect the original video files that may be available through export and or save options to USB drive or CD DVD burner. Please note that this easy 5-step process is also outlined in the laminated setup guide that comes with the kit, which includes both a color-coded setup diagram and step-by-step instructions. Additionally, you'll see that each capture device in the field kit is labeled with the proper connection diagram for quick reference at any time. So let's get started. To begin, as I've already done here, be sure you have access to a standard electrical power outlet, and then remove the field kit items from the travel case so you're ready to set up and use the qualified laptop, the Pelican case with the field kit devices and easy to follow 3-page capture guide, and the cable kit containing the color-coded cables you'll need for the capture. Step 1 in the process is to evaluate the DVR to see which video ports are available to you. I'll turn the DVR around so that the back of the box is facing the camera. It's very important that you're connecting to the video out ports and not to the video in ports. Once you know which ports are available, you can determine which of the 2 basic setup options you will be using to connect to the DVR. This particular DVR we're using here has both a VGA and a composite BNC port. There are 2 basic setup options. You would use one option whenever you have a VGA or a DVI or an HDMI out, and you would use the second setup option anytime there's only an S-video or a composite out port available. If you have more than one out port available on the DVR, your best options for video quality would be in this order: HDMI, DVI, VGA, S-video, and then composite. Since both setup options require the DVI bridge to be connected, I'm first going to demonstrate how to capture out of the VGA port, since it only requires the DVI bridge connected. In this example, I'll connect the Omnivore DVI bridge to the laptop using the high-speed USB 3.0 cable, then insert the Omnivore into the laptop and launch and activate the Omnivore viewer, and then conduct the capture with the Omnivore. So now, continuing to step 2, here's how we do that. Just connect one end of the cable to the DVI bridge and the USB end to the super speed port on the laptop, as you see here. It is important that you connect to the USB super speed port that shows the SS above it, because that port will provide about 10 times more throughput than a USB 2.0 port will. Then, as shown in step 3, I would grab the green cable, since I'm working with the VGA source, and I would connect the DVI end to the DVI bridge and the VGA end to the VGA out port on the DVR. Got that end, and then the other end. You'll also know if you're properly connected because the light on the DVI bridge will turn from a solid red to a blinking blue light. If you were connecting through USB 2.0, it would turn from solid red to blinking green. Next, in step 4, I'd grab the Omnivore drive, insert it into any active USB port on the laptop, and then simply launch the Omnivore interface so that it's ready to go. For purposes of this instructional video, while I do have a 256 gigabyte solid state drive in my kit if I need it, today I'm just going to capture to my Omnivore drive. So let's see how that works. The first thing I would do on the Omnivore interface is I would click on the utility screen and then click on the button that says FieldKit Viewer to open it. At that point, I would just click on the Connect button, which will display the DVR screen in the viewer. Then, I'd switch over to my DVR mouse to control the DVR, and if the DVR is password protected, I would enter the password now. Then, I'd locate the video that I want to play and capture, and in this case, I'm presented with a list of videos that are based on the date and time, and I'll choose the video that I want to play. What's important to note is that when you click Connect to open the FieldKit Viewer, the viewer should open to match the dimensions and aspect ratio of the video signal that it's reading. You can confirm this by looking at the dimensions shown in blue text in the upper left corner of the viewer. If these numbers don't match, it's because the DVR you are connected to is displaying a resolution that is too large to be displayed on the laptop screen. If that were to happen, here's how you can quickly adjust the viewer to a smaller size while maintaining the same aspect ratio as the source video feed. Just click on the blue hyperlink to launch the Set Display Dimension window, and then enter the source video dimensions in the width and height fields, and then click Lock Aspect Ratio. Now, any dimensions you enter will maintain the same aspect ratio as the source. So I'll go ahead and enter a smaller dimension. In this example, if I want the viewer to be half the size, I'm going to change the width by 50%. So since it was 1024, I'll enter 512 and then click OK, and you'll see that the viewer is reduced in size accordingly. This is the recommended method for changing the viewer size anytime it needs to be adjusted. Once I'm ready to begin my capture, I just return to the Omnivore interface. If you are new to the Omnivore and the Omnivore FieldKit, you should know that we do have videos on our website that walk you through an Omnivore capture. That's really all there is to it in this example. So if you only had a VGA out on the DVR and you captured all the video you needed, you could wrap things up here and head back to the office. Next, I'll walk you through a capture if the only video out option available on the DVR was a composite BNC connection. So we just reviewed how to capture from a Linux-based DVR with a VGA connection. Now, I'm going to show you the second setup option that would be used for capturing from S-Video or a composite out. For the purposes of this demonstration, I already have the DVI bridge connected to the laptop via the USB 3.0 cable, and I already have an Omnivore drive inserted into an active USB port on the laptop with the Omnivore interface ready to go. And I have two of the cables that I'm going to need for this type of capture ready as well. Now, in order to capture from the composite port, I need to connect to the SD video converter to the DVI bridge. First, I'll grab the SD video converter and the red color-coded cable that I have ready. I would take the cable and connect the DVI end of the cable to the DVI bridge, like so. And then I would connect the HDMI end to the HDMI port on the SD video converter. Now with this device, unlike the DVI bridge, which is self-powered through the USB cable, it is connected through HDMI and requires its own power source. So let's get it powered up. Just grab the power supply and plug it into an outlet, and then grab the SD video converter and plug the other end into the power port next to the red light. Next, we're going to connect the SD video converter to the DVR's composite port using the yellow composite cable. So I would grab this cable, which will get plugged into the yellow port on the SD video converter, which is labeled CV for composite video. The composite cable can be adapted for composite RCA or BNC connections using a BNC to RCA adapter, and the Omnivore Field Kit includes two of them, one for each end of the cable. You'll notice that the SD video converter port is an RCA composite port. So with the BNC to RCA adapter on one end of the cable, like you see here, connect the RCA end to the yellow port on the SD video converter, like that. Since the composite port on the DVR is BNC, I don't need an adapter. I'll just connect the other end of the composite cable to the BNC port on the system. Now that I'm connected, my Omnivore is already inserted and launched on the laptop. Just as before, go to the Utilities tab on the Omnivore and click on the Field Kit Viewer button. And then, click on the Connect button to activate the connection to the DVR video field. Again, you'll see the Omnivore Field Kit Viewer will adjust to match the dimensions and aspect ratio of the video signal it's reading. When connecting with the SD video converter, the source dimensions should always be 720 by 480. In case you forget those dimensions, they're printed right on your device. Then, as before, you're ready to capture the video you need with the Omnivore. And that's all there is to it. I've just demonstrated an easy plug-and-play process for connecting the video feeds of a DVR using the Omnivore Field Kit so you can capture an uncompressed copy of the video evidence as it's displayed from the machine that recorded it. Now it's your turn. Go out and try it yourself. And thanks for watching.